A very powerful spiritual practice is to ask oneself, in my life, whose approval am I seeking? There's a wonderful insight, I think, from Taoism that says, whosever approval you seek, you become their prisoner. This is really worth pondering on. There is a Islamic spiritual verse that I think really complements and completes that insight, where the Sufis say, choose your jailors with care and deliberation. Reflect on that. For me, I love this story of the 16th century very well-known emperor in India, a Mughal Muslim emperor named Akbar, called Akbar the Great, 16th century. In his opulent court, he had this very well-known musician named Tansen. In South Asia, Tansen is very well known. The legend has it that when in the 16th century Tansen sang in Akbar's court, even the birds stopped chirping to listen to Tansen. One day, the story has it that Emperor Akbar asked Tansen, Tansen, who taught you to sing in this remarkably beautiful way? Do you have a teacher? And Tansen said, yes, I do have a teacher who lives in the mountains. And Akbar, the emperor, said, I want to meet him. And so they traveled, and while the army was at the foot of the mountains, Akbar and Tansen, they began to climb the mountains. The master lived in a cave. At a certain point, the master, unknown that people were there, came out of the cave and sang a beautiful song. The song was so cosmic that Emperor Akbar, when he heard the song, it affected him. He began to swoon and he became unconscious. When he regained his consciousness, he turned to Tansen and said, Tansen, your voice is so beautiful, but the voice of your master, it is the voice of the spheres. It's angelic. Why can't you sing like your master? And Tansen said, simple. My emperor, I sing for you, my emperor, but my master, he sings for the emperor of emperors. And that is what gives his voice that unique quality. So I ask myself, in my life, whose approval am I seeking? And I love those verses from the Quran. One verse in the Quran says, say, what has seduced you away from your most generous instructor? Another verse is, please do not sell your bond with God for so paltry a price. Another verse which I remember, it says, if God forsakes you, no one can help you. But if God helps you, no one can overcome you. So this is a very favorite practice of mine, to continuously ask myself in my words and in my actions, as you say this, as you do this, Jamal, Brother Jamal, whose approval are you seeking?